All right, well, let's please some people by talking about the Dallas Cowboys. Their over-under win total is 7.5 here. The Cowboys were 7-10 last year. Dan, 4 of their wins were 2 Giants wins, Panthers and Browns. Yikes. PFF ranked their offense 28th last year and their defense 28th. Offseason moves, a lot of it was kind of keeping some of the guys that they had from last year. Defensive linemen were signed, some linebackers. They re-signed some of their secondary.
George Pickens
joins them. Yeah, they have the backfield of Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders. Curious. That'll be interesting. I'm a Javonte Williams fan. I'll be interested to see if they can get some more out of him. So I'll go over the schedule here real quick. They have a brutal stretch after their bye week, but they start at your Eagles, then they go Giants, at Bears, Packers, at Panthers, Commanders, at Broncos, Cardinals. Then they get their bye week in the middle. At Raiders, and here they go, Eagles, Chiefs, at Lions, Vikings, Chargers, at Commanders. Holy smokes. What a brutal stretch. And then they do get the gift of at Giants in the last week. So 7.5. I'm guessing a lot of this is Dak going to be healthy. Of course, you can say that about everybody, but there's obviously quarterbacks that we have a lot more questions about. What do you break down on this Cowboys team? I know you follow them a little bit more close than some other teams just because they're in your division.
Yeah, and I'm sure that people will think I'll just come on here and right away start talking smack on Dallas because I'm an Eagles fan. No, I like betting on the Eagles just the same as I like betting against them. I like that I follow the NFC East so closely. I feel like I have a good handle on these teams, and that kind of reflects in my spread picks throughout the year. The thing is, for me, Eddie, you laid out the numbers there on how absolutely abysmal that offense was. And because it was so bad, they say, hey, let's take the mastermind behind it and make him our head coach. I don't get the Brian Schottenheimer thing. You know what I mean? Like, I think there were 1,000 different ways you could do. And if you're trying to reinvent the Cowboys, which I think is really what needed to happen after you're moving away from McCarthy and you've kind of, teetered in that mediocrity of just not being able to break through in the playoffs, why would you not go out and do something new? So that's my first knock against the Cowboys heading into this year. I like what they did in the offseason. I mean, bringing in George Pickens is never going to be a bad thing. But one of the things that Pittsburgh learned with George Pickens is even when he was the number one option, he's not happy about his production. He's not happy about his role in the offense. So now that he's going to be standing in the shadow of CeeDee Lamb, how is that going to play out from a personality perspective? It could be a match made in heaven, but I hate to simplify it down, Andy, and boil it down to, well, it depends on the quarterback play. But in the case of the Dallas Cowboys, it really does. I mean, majority of their entire bankroll is tied up in Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. So if that connection is great, this team will be fine. The problem that worries me is you hear the Dallas Cowboys and you see a number 7.5, and that just begs you, just by thinking in your mind, it's the Dallas Cowboys, how do they not win 8 games? This number is begging you to take the over. I'm also not going to disagree with the guy who wins with season win reports each and every year that the Cowboys weren't even on his damn list in Teddy covers, what he was talking about. 7.5, the number makes sense. I probably lean towards the over, just sight unseen. But then you break down those stretches in the schedule, Andy, that are completely just brutal. So, I don't know how you could not be lukewarm at best on the Cowboys heading into this season because things really haven't changed that much. You added a couple different names. I think I'm going to be pumped up about Miles Sanders being added to your running back by committee. I'm not. And their offensive line each year has come back down to earth, and that was the lifeblood of the team. So the ever slightest lean simply because it's the Dallas Cowboys, and I think the Washington Commanders are going to take a step back this year, so maybe they pick up a win there. I lean towards this over, but it's tepid at best, Andy. I hate this number. I think this is going to be an impossible team to handicap. In their games this season, they're favored in 6 of them. So if you're playing that game, how do you get over 7.5? If Dak Prescott plays up to the level that we've seen him previously, that he wasn't playing in last year before his injury, this could go over, but this isn't one you add to your card. I think you cross this one off the list personally.
Yeah, I'm going to ever so slightly lean to the under just because, I mean, you have two Giants games that should be wins. At Raiders should be a win. And then I just can't really pick, easy wins. I mean, that stretch of Eagles, Chiefs, at Lions, Vikings, Chargers, that's got winless or just one win out of it. The Dak injury is always a thing. Their offensive line, they lost Martin. This coaching move, I don't understand in the slightest. And listen, at Bears, Packers, at Panthers, Commanders, at Broncos, that's not easy as well. I think wins are going to be really, really tough for this team. The number seems about perfect. I will ever so slightly lean to the under, but yeah, this is not going to be the huge play. Oh, I'm putting this up at 4% or 5%.
Yeah.
Number seems about right, but I will ever so slightly lean to the under. But hey, you lean over, lean under. I can't say it's a huge disagreement where we're playing.
I mean, again, Andy, when you're talking about like these also help you, how are you going to bet this team this year, right? And if you're looking at this Dallas Cowboys team being favored in only 6 games, if you like this over, you just take them on the money line and when they're a dog in the 10 other games, in the 11 other games, right? You know what I mean? There's way better ways to bet this than tying up for just to tell your buddies, hey, I told you they were going to win 8 games. That's the way that I kind of view it.
All right, so we're gonna slightly disagree, but really we agree that this line is about perfect.
We agree that this is gross. I don't want to bet the Cowboys.
Gross.
I mean, It's just it's too gross. Even Teddy said this wasn't even on his long list. So just cross this one off.
All right, well, leave in the comment section if you got a team that we want to go over.